G'day, athletes. Welcome to the Kilted Athlete Podcast. My name's Keith, and I'm your host. In this episode, I'll be talking about the game-changing power of having positive people in your life. But before I get into it, I'll just want to say if you're listening to this and haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button because it really helps. Like the episode, share the episode, um, yeah, do all that stuff. So, having got that out of the way, let's crack on with the episode. Over the last 30 or so episodes I've made on this podcast, so I've given a lot of tips and advice and helpful stuff that may help with your fitness journey. But not many of them I would class as game changers. Like they're good advice and some good tips and stuff, but a game changer is like something big that's going to make a huge difference. Just one thing that make a huge difference, and not many things are game changers in that sense. There's a lot of good advice out there, good tips, good training plans, but um, none of them are really game changing. They're good to follow, might be good to follow, but um, game game changing is a big thing. So I think this actually might be my first episode where I describe something as a game changer, but having positive friends and surrounding yourself with positive people is a game changer. Now, ironically, this episode was actually suggested by a couple of my friends who are good, positive people to be around, and they didn't say, "Hey, Keith, do an episode about us and like how great we are as friends and how positive we are." They just suggested that I talk about the positive influence of having like the right people around you. So I just want to give a bit of a thank you and a shout out to those guys that did suggest that. And just as a side note, if you do have any episode suggestions, please feel free to contact me. So anyway, let's start off by talking about the types of people we encounter or that we have a lot to do with in day-to-day life. So we have friends, we have work colleagues, we have family, but the people we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, they can kind of vary on this scale of positivity. You could have like for example, people that are kind of fake positive or sunshine positive. The ones that you tell something to and they go, "Oh, that's so awesome," like. But there's a lot of fakeness about it. They're like the pretend positive people. And then you've got like the backhanded negativity or the backhanded compliment kind of thing. Like someone will say, for example, you might say, I'm going to run a marathon, and they say to you, I hope you don't have a heart attack. It's kind of like this negativity wrapped up in to try to disguise negativity, like as a compliment or not a compliment, as a statement of concern. So it's not positive in any way, but they've tried to disguise it as positivity. I know I've had a lot of comments over the years being a bagpipe player, and people say, I like bagpipes when they're played well. So they've kind of like started off with a positive, trying to sound positive, but then like they kind of having a dig at you kind of thing. I think some people call that the backhanded compliment. And then you've got like toxic people that, the kind of people that, and you might have to deal with these people through work. You might even have these people in your family or, some situation where you can't completely, um, take these people out of your life. And there's a lot of different ways people can be toxic, but they kind of like have a draining effect on you. You you kind of get anxious about having to go to something because these people are just going to drag drag you down and try and drag the positivity out of you. And then you've got truly positive people. And truly positive people, they might not sound overly positive like the sunshine people. They might not, be um, jumping up and down, everything's rosy, that's so awesome and all that, but they're genuinely positive and taking an interest. And they're genuinely positive because they ask questions. Or further down the track, they ask you about the thing that you're doing. So if you say, hey, I'm applying for a new job, and they say, oh yeah, good luck with that. Where's the job? They ask you all the questions, and then they follow up. So they ask you a week later, hey, how did you go with that job you applied for? Um, and then they've genuinely taken an interest, and and they're genuinely supportive people. They they keep, I guess, they're holding you accountable. They're showing an interest, and it's not just that surface positivity that they say something the first thing you say it, but then they don't follow up on it. The genuinely positive people follow up on it. They ask you continually how you're going with that thing that you've told them that you're going to do. And these are the people you want more of in your life. You kind of want to stay away from, or if you can't, kind of restrict your time spent with the other type of people, and surround yourself with more of these genuinely positive people. The people that lift you up, the people that encourage you, and the people that hold you accountable. So instead of the people that just bounce up and down for 5 seconds, blowing sunshine up your ass, like they're sounding like they're on some kids TV show. So when you find these genuinely positive people, you kind of want to spend more time with them and kind of surround yourself with them because they really genuinely lift you up instead of blowing fake positivity. Have you ever have you ever had people around you that you just don't want to tell these people certain things because they'll have a negative comment about it? And then there's other people that you go to straight away because that even though they might not be sunshine positive, you know that they're genuinely positive and they will support you and encourage you and hold you accountable. So I want to give a bit of an example. Way back, if we go way back to episode 1 of this podcast, Make It Happen, episode 1. That was my very first podcast episode. A couple of months before that, I talked to a um a few friends of mine, a few good friends that um I've been training with for quite a while, and I don't actually live in the same town as them anymore. I've moved away, but we still keep in contact. And I told them, look, I'm going to start this podcast, and they said, hey, let us know when it's coming out. And they really actually did genuinely look forward to my podcast coming out, and they were the first people to listen to it, and they're still listening. I don't know if they'll listen to every single episode, but I do know that they listen to it because they certainly um, comment on um, various things that I've said in the podcast. They let me know if I'm late getting an episode out, so they're they're definitely listening to my podcasts and holding me accountable. So, but there, when I first told them that I was starting a podcast, they were positive. Like they weren't um, sunshine positive. They didn't. None of them said, "Hey, this is awesome" to me, but I knew they had my back, and they were genuinely interested and wanting to hear my first episode when it came out. They they kept saying, "Hey, how's the status going? And when's the first episode coming out?" So they genuinely did hold me accountable. Um, so I want to thank those blokes. Well done. Because you know these are the guys that actually keep me going, doing this podcast regularly. So they're the kind of people you really want around you, whether it's in like a fitness kind of situation whether you're training for a goal, whether you're changing careers, or whatever the thing that you're planning to do. These are the kind of people that you want to tell um what's going on to, what you're going to do, because they will keep you accountable. They will they will show interest. These these people are also good to have as gym partners or training partners if they share the same interest in you. I mean, you can have good positive friends that don't share the same interests as you, but if they do, if you have a gym going friend or a running friend that that comes to the gym with you regularly, or even if they're not coming to the gym with you, you're like holding each other accountable. Um, you showing each other the workouts that you've done. So you may not physically be in the gym together, but you're still like encouraging each other, holding yourselves accountable, or holding each other accountable. The other thing about genuine positive friends is they call you on your bullshit. So if if you're if you're really doing the wrong thing or barking up the wrong tree, um, they will call you out on it. So that's not them being negative. Um, that's them being like having your back basically. Like if you're bullshitting about something, if you're not genuine about something, if you're, cutting corners or something like that, they'll call you on it. And that's a good thing because, a lot of people won't. They'll just let it slide. So I guess these friends will keep you honest and keep you, keep you doing the right thing and achieving things the right way. So the fake sunshiny people, they won't call you on your bullshit, because the whole persona is built around this kind of like this sunshine mentality. So they're not going to call you out, but the genuine friends will. So why having positive friends a game changer? Or why do I believe having positive friends are a game changer? Because out of everything that you do, all the little training programs and um, all the little hacks and tricks and tips that you have. Uh, having having positive friends, surrounding yourself with positive people can have a vast impact on your training, so much more than all these little hacks and tips and things. Having positive people backing you up, um, supporting you, even calling you on your bullshit, that can have such a vast difference on your training or your goal or whatever you're doing. Just to have that person saying, "Hey, you can do this." If you're looking to change your career and looking for, you're wondering, you're wanting to take a dive into a new career path or something. Just having that person backing you up and saying, "Hey, mate, you can do this." Um, it really is a game changer. So I've talked about how having positive friends is game changing. I just want to touch now on how to be a game changing friend, because all those things that I've said about how important it is to have positive friends, um, it's also important that you're that positive friend to others. So you want to be that person that people want to tell stuff to. You want to be the person that people come to and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm thinking about doing this. I want to run a marathon. I want to change my career. I want to learn to play the bagpipes." And it's good to be that person that people want to come tell you that stuff to. But if you're kind of like the negative person, or the backhanded negative person, or even the sunshine person, people are going to stop coming to you with that. I don't like telling people. I don't like telling sunshine people about stuff, because I don't like that fake canned positivity. I'd rather tell a good friend who, you know, that don't have that canned positivity, but are going to be genuinely interested, and are going to back me up and hold me accountable. So you want to be that friend to others. And how do we be that friend? Well, firstly, listen to them. Listen to what they're actually saying. Don't cut them off if they're telling you something. Listen to what they're saying, and take a genuine interest. Asking questions about it, and then asking questions later on, asking questions a week later, asking questions 2 weeks later, a month later, asking how they're going with it, because that being that kind of friend is game changing to their goal. You could be the game changing friend that that um, they are looking for to help them achieve their goals, to have their backs. So there you go. That was my little episode on having game changing friends and being a game changing friend. I want to thank the blokes that are listening and suggested that I do this episode. Um, I I guess this is their episode, because that was their idea. But yeah, I want to say a quick thank you to those guys. Um, even though we used to train together a lot, at least once a week, and we kind of I'm not living in that town with them. That's in the same town anymore, so we don't train together, but we still keep in touch. We still hold each other accountable, still show each other what the workouts that we've been doing. So um, yes, thanks guys for suggesting this episode. Thanks to everyone that's listening. Whether you're a first time listener or you've been listening for quite a while. Thanks very much. I'm very appreciative of all you guys that listen to my episodes. Thank you again. So I'll close this episode now. Thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.